Hey, it's Casual Jake bringing you another edition of Casual Constructed, where we play our favorite 60 card formats, and we're playing some Pioneer today with one of the connoisseurs, one of the premier Pioneer content creators. That's right, we are hanging out with Ruckman from Crew 3 Podcast. Make sure you go and check them out. I'll make sure all the links are in the description. We're playing two really fun decks, and I hope that you enjoy this game. But before that, I gotta remind you, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you know when we update and when we upload new videos like this one. All right, let's get into the action. Excited to play these games. Before we start, why don't you tell the people a little bit about who you are and where they can find you on the internet?
Oh yeah, so I am one of the hosts of Crew 3 Pioneer Podcast. We've been podcasting about the Pioneer format pretty much since like week 2 or 3, pretty early on in the format, honestly. You know, we put out a weekly podcast, usually every Friday. You can check us out every podcast source. And I try to stream Pioneer on MTGO a couple nights a week, and the VODs go up on our YouTube channel, which are both Crew 3 MTG.
Well, we're playing Pioneer. I think we're playing two really fun decks. So why don't you go ahead, Ruckman, tell us what deck you're bringing to the table and kind of what it aims to do.
So I am playing one of my favorite combo decks in the Pioneer format, because there is still combo in Pioneer, no matter what people tell you. It's built around this lovely enchantment here called Bard Class from AFR. So when enters the battlefield, so a legendary creature we control on the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on them. But importantly, when we go to level 2 here for red and a green, our legendary spells cost red and a green less to cast. And then at level 3 for 3 red-green, whenever we cast a legendary spell, we can exile the top 2 cards of our library and can play them this turn. Now, we're doing with that, we're comboing with cheap legendaries like Targnar Demon Fang General and 𝐂𝐤𝐤 of the Endless Dance, legendaries that just cost red and a green, or cheaper, or legendary permanents you'll see in the deck list, to start exiling the top of our library, playing for free, and then we'll start generating mana using cards like Birgi, God of Storytelling. So every legendary we're playing for free, or even playing an additional mana that Bard Class doesn't cover for, we're keeping net even mana. And then we also have cards here like Xenagos the Reveler to just essentially build us big mana here once we have like 4 or 5 creatures in play.
I am playing a Rakdos Dragon deck. I'm calling it Rakdos.Tyrant, 2-point Tyrant, because Tyrant of Tales helped me out with this. Shout out to them. Post Jacob put the logo and stuff out there. But yeah, we're playing dragons, right? And the big ones are Goldspan Dragon and Moonveil Regent. Once we're starting to run low on cards or we're not liking what's in there, whenever we cast spells, we're going to be able to discard and draw some new cards, as well as Goldspan just being an absolute, it's just a value card. You know, 4/4, it's going to make, what's it called? It's going to make treasure tokens kind of go there. Not a lot of early dragons, so we're actually playing Concealed Curtains, which I think is a neat card. Loving to kind of see what it does some more. It's a little 0/4 defender that you can transform, do some hand destruction with, and then of course we're going to be having kill spells like Dragon's Fire, you know, hopefully having some dragons in hand and doing some extra damage to our creatures, just kind of keeping the board under control until we can get our dragons out and swing for big damage. So now that you kind of know what decks we're playing, let's go ahead and see who's going to go first. So you want to go odd or even?
I'll take even.
You'll take even, and it's going to be odd. So I got a 3 and a 2 right there. So I'll go ahead and take the play. Game 1, let's get it started. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to draw because this is not Commander. I'm going to start off with a Hive of the Eye-Tyrant, which will come in untapped. And then I'll go ahead and tap that for a Concealing Curtain. Get a blocker there and maybe some hand destruction. And I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
Forest, and I'm going to play an Oath of Nissa. Look at the top 3 in my library. I can put a creature or planeswalker or land into my hand, revealing it, and then my planeswalker is going to be cast as if mana was of any color. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a 𝐂𝐤𝐤 of the Endless Dance into my hand, and I'm going to put them back in this order, and I'm going to say go.
I'm going to go ahead and play a Swamp for turn. And I'll say go.
Play a Rootbound Crag, and I'm going to go ahead and play a Oviya Pashery, Sage Lifecrafter, and pass. 2 and a green, I can tap her to make a colorless servo token, and then for 4 and a green tapper, I can make an XX colorless construct token, where X is the number of creatures I control.
Pay 2. And I'm actually going to go ahead and power word kill that, that real quick. And then I'll go to my turn. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Let's go with a Haunted Ridge. I'm actually going to pay the 3, and I'm going to flip this Concealing Curtain, which is proxied on. So let's flip that over to a Revealing Eye, which is going to let me go ahead and look at your hand. I can choose a non-land card from it. When I do, you'll discard that and then draw a card.
You get to see a 2 Crack Crown Pathway, a Birgi God of Storytelling, the 𝐿𝐤𝐤 I revealed earlier, a 𝐵𝐺 Threveler, and a Domri Anarch of Bolas.
I'm going to go ahead and get the Birgi.
Sure.
And so that one will have you discard, and then you can draw a card.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and just swing for 3.
Sure. I will take 3 and go to 17.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
I'm going to go Domri plus for mana, and then I'm going to pass.
And I believe that's Anarch of Bolas, correct?
That is Anarch of Bolas.
It's a really,
so my creatures
really cool
get
printing.
+1/+0, and then I can +1 to get a red or a green mana, and creatures I control can't be countered there. So it's very relevant in actually a lot of matchups. Any creature I cast this turn can't be countered. And then -2 to fight.
I'm going to pay red and 1. And I'm going to Dragon's Fire your Domri. And I'm going to reveal a Moonveil Regent. So I'll deal 4 damage to your Domri. And then with that, I'll go ahead and attack it for 3.
Sure.
And so we'll just get that out of the way. No land drop this turn, but I will go ahead and play another Concealing Curtains. And I'll pass the turn.
I'm going to play 𝐵𝐺. And we're going to plus and pass.
I'll untap, upkeep, and draw. So I'm going to go ahead and pay 3, and let's reveal the eye again.
Sure. I have a Stomping Ground, another Domri, another Birgi, and a 𝐿𝐤𝐤.
Okay. Let's get rid of the Birgi, and then I'll send both of these at the Xenagos and just kind of keep the board clear right now.
Sure.
And I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
Go ahead, and I'm going to shock. I'm going to play a 𝐿𝐤𝐤 and a Rishkar, putting counters on each. And then I will pass.
So let's go ahead and we'll go to combat. And
Sure.
I'm just going to send it a 3/4 and a 3/4 with menace.
I will take 6.
Okay, getting some good beats in right there. With that, I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn.
Let's go Domri. I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to swing for 8.
Okay. I'll declare no blocks and I'll take 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take me down to 12.
Minus Domri with 𝐿𝐤𝐤 fighting one of your eyes.
Okay, that would be a straight up trade, right?
Yes.
Okay. With that, that's totally fine. So one of my eyes and 𝐿𝐤𝐤 will fight.
And I will pass the turn.
Okay, I will have a quick response, or should I say something to do in your end step? I'm going to pay 3 for a 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐿's command. So I'm going to return my Concealing Curtains to my hand. And then the other one, let's do... So this can do 2 damage to Domri, can't it? Or is it just creature or player? I don't remember how this
It
card's
should be
errated.
any target.
Okay.
Creature or player. Let me check the oracle on it, actually. It is any target.
Okay, so I'm going to do the 2 damage to the Domri then.
Sure.
Get that out of here. And go to my turn. So I'll untap, upkeep, and I'll draw. Go ahead and swing for 3. Keep that pressure going.
Sure. I go to 6.
Then I'm going to pay 3, and let's go blank. So I'll have you discard those 2, and then exile the graveyard, and I will pass.
I'm going to concede.
Okay, sounds good. So got a little bit Rakdos control there. No dragons. I just got to flash a dragon, but never had the mana to actually play the dragon. So I'm looking at my sideboard here, and a few things that I run. I do have these Feed the Swarms. I just love being able to kill enchantments or creatures, so I think I'm going to bring those in just in case we do see some Bard classes. We have potentially Cut to Ribbons, which can maybe do some stuff in the late game, so I'd consider those too. And then we have some Bone Crushers that I might consider as well. I like the feed the swarms and maybe the cut to ribbons. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. You want to tell us a little bit about your sideboard, what you're considering?
Yeah, so I'm looking at a couple copies of Red Cap Melee, which are 4 damage to a creature or planeswalker. And then if the permanent I target is the permanent that is dealt damage this way, because it has to be dealt damage in order for this effect to happen, I sack a land if it's non-red. I'm looking at a couple copies of Shaper's Sanctuary, an additional copy of Klothys, God of Destiny, and a Toski, Bearer of Secrets.
Okay.
All right, I am good to go. I'm going to start with the Rootbound
same.
Crag and pass.
Sounds good. I will draw for turn. I will start off with a tapped Haunted Ridge, and I'll pass the turn.
Go ahead and play an Oath. No. I'm going to go ahead and play a Forest, and we're just going to start the 𝐿𝐤𝐤𝐤.
Hey, Galia, so that's going to be 2 coming at me.
2. Go ahead.
All right, I will untap, upkeep, draw. I will start off with a Mountain. Let's go with a Thoughtseize.
Yep, my hand is a Rootbound Crag and double Oath of Nissa.
Nice, so we'll get one of the oaths out of there, and I'll take
Yeah.
2. I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2.
Yep, and I will declare no blocks and take another 2, go to 14, hurting myself.
I'm going to go ahead and play Oath of Nissa. I'm going to reveal a Targnar Demon Fang Knoll.
No, it's Turgner.
Another Rootbound Crag. Play this Targnar and pass.
I'll start off with a Haunted Ridge, which will come in untapped.
Mhm.
And I'm going to play 3. And let's go ahead and go with an Anger of the Gods and just wipe the board. And I'll go ahead and pass.
I'm going to go ahead and play a Stomping Ground tapped and play Ovia Pashiri and pass.
Dragon Skull Summit. You know, I think we're just going to pay 2. And Rakdos removal, right? Power word kill on the Ovia. And I'll go ahead and pass it.
All right, I'm going to play a Bard class, and we're going to level it up to 2 and pass.
It's the Bard class. The Bard class, y'all. We found it. So the Bard class, if you wouldn't mind telling the people, the first one, your legendary creatures come in with a counter, and then what is the second class? The second level do?
All my legendary spells cost red, green less to cast.
So I'll untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to go ahead and play a Fabled Passage, and I'm going to go ahead and crack it real quick for a Swamp. That'll come in and it'll untap, and then let's tap 5 for a dragon, a Goldspan dragon. And so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and swing for 4, and I will make a treasure that taps for 2 mana of any color, and I will pass the turn.
Play a Grumgully of the Generous.
Hey, he's gonna come in with his own counter.
He is going to enter with his own counter. And he will now offer the boof to any other legendaries I play and pass.
I will play this Mountain. I will tap this for 2 red, 3 and 4, and I'm going to go ahead and play a Moonveil Regent. I am going to go ahead and actually kind of take advantage of that by paying black for a Concealed Curtain, declining the Moonveil Regent, because then I'm going to play black and red to Dreadbore your Grumgully.
I'm just going to go ahead and concede this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll get to draw 2 and do all that, so...
Yeah, no, the Bard class, we need an interactive matchup. The matchups where we want to play the Bard class is going to be like, you know, when you're playing against things like Lotus Field and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dominoes give you a really good edge in the Control Mirror act, like anything with like Control Magic act, like because the way the combo works is you can really pop off in a single turn. So Domri like seals you up for the control matchup, but like the Rakdos decks and the Hyper Aggro decks just like so hard to get underneath you.
Right. And what a match. It seems that my little Rakdos mid-range deck was able to hold down the fort and outclass the Bard class this time, but we did record a match too, so you need to make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you want to catch that when it gets uploaded on this channel. Again, thank you so much to Ruckman from Crew 3 Podcast. Again, all their links in the description. Make sure you go down there, check them out for everything Pioneer related. As while you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, all those things, and leave a comment. Again, those comments and all that interaction just goes to getting this content to more people, and I greatly appreciate you for it. Well, until next time, I'm Casual Jake reminding you, don't forget to play your land drops. See ya.